She demands the double or she's going to crush her.
Boston is such a versatile big.
The playmaking of Aliyah Boston has been incredible.
She's an outstanding passer.
That makes her a threat from so many different places on the floor.
Oh, what a pass. Boston to Mitchell.
Turns left shoulder, put it up and in. Boston, 2 more.
Top shot by Aliyah Boston.
It is amazing. I think the way that the fans come out and they show out for us every single game, it's so special, and I wouldn't trade it.
Aliyah Boston has signed a 4-year, $6.3 million deal with the Indiana Fever, making her the highest-paid player in WNBA history by total contract value. Caitlin Clark acknowledged the signing almost immediately, retweeting the ESPN report confirming the deal a straightforward show of support for her teammates' historic payday. The contract structure was explained by analyst Richard Cohen, who broke down the extension provisions under the new CBA.
And I wouldn't trade it.
That was the latest video, and as of right now, man, Aliyah Boston is the talk of the town. The Indiana Fever has made a big deal and a big splash that put the entire WNBA on notice. I'm happy for Aliyah Boston. Just like I stated in the beginning part of this live, she's worth every damn penny, bro. Every penny. Every penny.
To qualify, a player needs to have earned MVP or all WNBA recognition, and the deal allows for a renegotiation of the 4th year, along with an added extension during the signing period following the 2nd or 3rd season. The extended years can reach Supermax territory but must exceed the renegotiated base. That framework is what allowed Boston's deal to reach the number it did.
Every penny, bro. Now, I'm going here to see has Aliyah Boston replied or said anything. As of right now, she has not responded personally to becoming the highest paid WNBA player in league history. Somebody said she's 2 inches shorter than the best passer in WNBA history. This is just a legendary.
For context on where the league stands more broadly, Breanna Stewart separately confirmed her own new contract with New York, a 3-year standard max deal at 17% of the salary cap, which will move up or down as the cap itself changes. Stewart acknowledged that the priority for her team was retaining its core players while still building a competitive roster around them, which is why several top earners will be in the $1 million range while the rest of the roster fills in below that threshold. The Boston signing carries an extra layer of significance given that both she and Caitlin Clark, now 2 of the highest compensated players in league history, are former South Carolina Gamecocks.
This is just a legendary, just damn, like we all knew Aliyah Boston was going to get paid, but I don't think everybody knew she was going to get paid like this. Like this is a massive, massive payday, bro. I can't even lie. Caitlin Clark has responded. Breaking news. Caitlin Clark has responded to Aliyah Boston getting paid. So Caitlin Clark just took to her ex.
Boston's college resume alone makes the contract difficult to argue with. 2 SEC Player of the Year awards, 2 Naismith Player of the Year honors, a Wade Trophy, a Wooden Award, an NCAA championship, unrivaled Defensive Player of the Year, WNBA Rookie of the Year, 3 All-Star selections, and second-team All-WNBA. She arrived in Indiana already decorated and has continued to build on that in the pros. The Fever's promotional video released alongside the news leaned into her all-around impact, her efficiency in the paint, her ability to draw doubles, her passing, her defensive versatility, and her role as a steadying presence in the locker room.
Her ex seconds ago, and retweeted Seamus tweet about Indiana Fever 3-time WNBA All-Star Aliyah Boston with signing a 4-year, $6.3 million deal with the franchise, giving her the richest total salary in league history to date. Zach Miller and all these other people told ESPN this. And Caitlin Clark, there she is there, man. She just now retweeted this.
Clark was featured in the video describing Boston as the player who keeps everyone settled and calm regardless of the situation. The organization framed the contract as both a basketball decision and a statement about where the franchise is headed. Natasha Cloud entering training camp without a contract has caught many observers off guard, but the situation has a fairly straightforward explanation once the market dynamics are laid out clearly.
So it looked like Caitlin Clark is definitely happy that her teammate got her money, man. Just an incredible moment, man, for Aliyah Boston, the Boston family. Just wow, man. Wow, dog. I just damn. Like, I don't think anybody knew that it was going to be that much, bro. I ain't going to lie to you. I don't think nobody knew it was going to be that much. So Richard Cohen kind of explained, he said, explaining Epic provision. Need MVP.
The most credible theory behind her continued availability involves a representation change that may have disrupted negotiations at a critical point in the off-season window. The idea that Cloud remains unsigned due to her history of public activism does not hold up under scrutiny. Brianna Turner, who has also been vocal on social issues and whose on-court contributions are considerably less impactful than Cloud's, has already been placed on a roster.
Need MVP or all W to be eligible. Can renegotiate fourth year of rookie scale and add extension during signing period after second or third season. Must add 3 new seasons. Extended years can go up to Supermax. Must be more than renegotiated. So this is how she got that deal. Shout out to Richard Cohen over on X.
If off-court profile were the determining factor, Turner would not have a deal either. The actual problem is structural. Teams that have meaningful cap space are largely either tanking or rebuilding, and neither of those situations is a natural landing spot for a player of Cloud's caliber and presumed salary expectations.
Shout out to Richard Cohen over on X. He explained it all. He broke it all down. So Brianna Stewart says on her podcast, contract is a 3-year standard max contract where she'll be getting 17% of cap. Oh, wow. She actually talked about it. So Brianna Stewart talks about her contract. So
I'm officially official. Just signed my contract with New York. Obviously, everybody knew I was staying in New York, but now it's a done deal. It's a 3-year standard max contract, which is like.
Teams that operate with analytically driven front offices have models that evaluate her contributions less favorably than the eye test would suggest. The statistical picture of Cloud across most modern WNBA valuation frameworks is not flattering, even for observers who come away impressed watching her play. Those two realities, willing teams without money and teams with money lacking interest, have created a market failure for her.
Any team that is any team that's a modern basketball team isn't going to sign her. Why? Because the analytics think she sucks. Like, if you look at any like model breaking down the WNBA, like the analytics will tell you that Natasha Cloud stinks. And look, I'm going to be honest here. Sometimes like your eyes lie. Sometimes your eyes.
The Portland Fire are the clearest example of a franchise with cap flexibility that has no use for her. Portland is not competing this season by any reasonable projection. Their primary offensive option is a player who has never reached double figures in a game.
Sometimes, like, your eyes lie. Sometimes your eyes genuinely lie. So, she might be terrible. Like, from what I've seen, Natasha Cloud's pretty good. But, like, your eyes lie sometimes. That being said, she's somebody where if you look at teams, who has cap room? Portland won't sign her. Portland are trying to lose. Like, I don't think people understand this. Everyone's like, oh, you know, Portland. I've seen people.
Carly Samuelson, arguably their most skilled perimeter contributor, is not arriving until June. Their top draft selection from this class is not joining the team until next year. The organization is clearly building toward a position in the Juju Watkins lottery rather than trying to scrape into a playoff spot.
I've seen people say Portland and Toronto are the two worst teams. No, Portland might go 3-41. Toronto might fuck about and be the 9th seed. They might fuck about and make the playoffs. Like, the 6th best player on the Portland Fire would be or on the Toronto Temple would be the best player on the Portland Fire. Like, the Portland Fire are going to be running their offense through a player who's never scored 10 points in a season, in a game for a season, in Bridget Carlton. Portland's best.
The worst team in the league carries a 50% shot at the first overall pick in what projects to be a generational draft. Signing a veteran guard in her prime would work against that goal. Washington presents a similar situation from a different angle.
The offensive player is Carla Late, who is not going to come over until June. And that is that's a big one. That is a big one, that their best player is not coming over for a certain amount of time. And then their rookie, Iana Martine, is not coming over till next year. This is... Everyone's like, people are like, oh, Portland got an F in the draft because, Iana Martine's not...
The Mystics have assembled a roster full of high-variance young players who occupy the same positional profile, most of whom struggle to shoot. Their front office appears to be in asset-gathering mode, evaluating which pieces have trade value, identifying what young talent can be moved to teams that are ready to compete, and positioning themselves for a significant lottery outcome. A player who expected a draft pick from Chicago to anchor their rebuild found that pick did not arrive with the value anticipated, which pushed the organization further down the path of intentional losing.
Iana Martine's not coming over for a year. They need fans to get excited about something. They are trying to lose. They're not going to lose their franchise in 1 year. Those fans are going to be really excited when Juju Watkins rocks up, because the worst team in the lottery, it's a 50% chance of Juju Watkins. To put themselves in a coin flip for Juju Watkins, that's what they will do. They will have to lose a lot of games.
Cloud does not fit what Washington is trying to accomplish in the short term. The financial piece is where the full picture comes together. In a point guard market where Ty Harris signed for $400K and Jordan Canada secured a 2-year deal around $600K, Cloud's expected asking price appears to have been significantly higher.
They will do. They will have to lose a lot of games. A lot of games to be in that sweepstakes. That being said, you've now got that's for her. The New York Liberty don't have anything over a max contract to give her. Over a minimum contract to give her. The Las Vegas Aces have a minimum contract to give her. The Washington Mystics are trying to lose. And I've seen people...
She was a maximum contract player under the previous collective bargaining agreement, and the assumption seems to be that she entered this offseason targeting compensation in the range of $1 million or close to it. That price point is difficult to justify for most teams, even if they like her as a player.
Trying to lose. And I've seen people saying that Washington are the 10th best team in the WNBA. Based on what? They drafted a whole bunch of players that can't shoot. They have one player on their roster that can shoot. They have a whole bunch of players that play the same position, do the same thing. People have put their starting 5 out and say Dugalich is going to start. Dugalich started the 3. Dugalich starting at the 3, or Kiki Iriafen slide down to the 3. Kiki Iriafen can't shoot.
Courtney Williams drew significant interest and secured her deal at market rate, but Williams and Cloud are not so far apart in value that Cloud commands a substantial premium. A team with the cap room to offer $800K or more is almost certainly a franchise that is not competing, and Cloud is unlikely to want to be on the floor for 30 losses while fighting for lottery position.
Fan can't shoot. They literally cannot shoot. I'm sorry, this is New York. The Washington Mystics is a roster put together so that they can see what assets work, they can trade whatever young players don't work out, and they can lose enough games that that they get a really good draft pick. Because they have to be really bad in order to get the draft pick they thought they were going to get from Chicago. They thought Chicago were going to hand them a really good draft pick. So that's why they're going for this. They drafted...
The combination of a mid-negotiation agent switch, salary expectations that may not match the current market rate,